AM 1160 and 101.1 FM. You can join us on Facebook Live this morning as we talk with Tony DeLoreto, who yesterday became the first announced candidate for the 41st Senatorial District in the state Senate to replace the retiring State Senator Don White. Tony joins us this morning, and good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Todd. Thanks for having me.
Glad you're with us here this morning to talk about this. What made you decide that this is something you want to pursue?
Well, what made me decide I want to do this is I've been in business for 28 years, having a restaurant down the street, and I started when I was 29. I'm 57, and I'm ready for a change. I'm ready for a new commitment, and I wanted to leave a legacy somehow, some way. I want to get in there. I want to help people. I want to work for the people and just be a part of a change in the process. We got a swamp in Harrisburg too, as well as D.C., and I think people they want to change. They need to find a reason for a change, and hopefully I'm the reason.
Before Senator White's announcement that he's going to be retiring, was this something that you were considering?
Well, I ran last time against Senator White, and that was a challenge because, being in there for so long and being entrenched like he was, what was the question again, Todd? Let me have that one.
Before he announced his retirement, were you considering running again?
I didn't know. And the opportunity presented itself, and it's a rare situation. It's a unique opportunity. It's a special election, and the game is by far different than it would be in a normal election. The process is very short. It'll be over in 10 weeks, and I wasn't really thinking about it before running again, but since the opportunity came up and I've been there, I've done it. We have the infrastructure in place. I have the strong support from some previous staff that want me to go out there and they want me to make a difference, and I just want to be able to have that opportunity to make a difference for the people of the district, Indiana County, Armstrong County, and part of Butler and Westmoreland County.
Tony DeLoreto was our guest this morning, yesterday announcing that he will run for the Senate in the 41st District on the Democratic ballot. The party must choose its candidate, and the Republicans haven't announced any challengers yet, and you are the first on the Democratic side. Have you had conversations within the party, and have they talked to you about their process of what they will go through in choosing the candidate that they will put forward for the special election?
Yes. Well, what happens is there's a convention. Now, I would imagine the Republicans are grooming somebody already. They have somebody in place. They're going to back their candidate. And now what happens is it goes to a convention, and then committee members vote who they're going to have on the ballot. And what that entails is going to the convention, speaking in front of the people, and hopefully convincing them that I'm the best candidate available. I've been in business for 28 years. I'm proud to have started my business at 29 and stay in the community and reinvest in the community and be a striving, successful business. And I've been able to help employ a lot of people, and I've been able to help a lot of people, kids, as they go to mostly college kids, and just help groom them for their life. I know spaghetti benders is in their life, and I just try to be there as a stepping stone to help them in their future endeavors. And a lot of times that's what happens.
Should you be elected and make your way to Harrisburg, what would be some of the issues that you think or would be the biggest ones to tackle this being a special election and only through the end of 2020, then you would have to run again if you so chose. But what would be some of the issues that you'd want to tackle in Harrisburg?
Well, one of the big issues, and everybody's concerned about, is the elimination of property tax for primary residents. I think that's a key issue. I think that's a doable issue. I know that my opponent in the last election, he wanted a total elimination of property tax. But I think what we need to do is focus on the elimination of property tax for primary residents, because that's where it makes the biggest difference. I have commercial property, I have rentals. I should still have to pay some sort of revenue to help provide for the tax base, to go into education. And I think that's one of the biggest issues around here. And also I'm a big advocate for education. I think education is the answer to all of our issues in the opioid crisis, mental health, for the disadvantaged kids. And I'm talking about kids that, that don't have the right parents in place. I hate to say it, but bad parenting. Not all of us had good parenting growing up. And I think education, pre-K, for all, is a very important issue to help get us out of our system. That we have to break that mold. We have to get into a new direction, and I think it's mainly done through education and being there for the kids. And because studies have proven that pre-K, that's where their brains develop the most. And I think we need to be there for those kids to help them through life and to be better productive members of society and the workforce, and being able to help each other as we grow.
Tony DeLoreto is our guest in the studio, running for Senate in the 41st District. On the education front, there are a lot of people who say when you get to Harrisburg, your job is to just send the money. And that's all you really need to be involved in when it comes to education. I sort of get the feeling that you think it's more than just approving money and increasing money, but there's much more that Harrisburg can do.
Oh, as far as what? As far as
helping education.
Oh, they need to. I mean, we had drastic cuts to education, and we're not going to get smarter as a society by cutting education. We need to invest in education. That brings value to everything that we do. And when you look at you want to eliminate the property tax for primary residents. Well, there's other ways to get that revenue back, whether it be through a little bit of a higher sales tax. The state's considering the legalization of marijuana. Well, that can go to offset property tax. And what you have to, when you do that, when you start funneling that money into Harrisburg, you have to make sure it's spent the right way, because everybody's worried about, well, if you change the structure of the property tax and the school tax, how is it going to be distributed? Well, you got to figure that out, because that is a worrisome problem. You don't want everything to go to Pittsburgh and everything to go to Philadelphia. You need to go to the rural communities and make sure they're taken care of.
You mentioned opioids as well, and Harrisburg certainly has a role to play there as a state. But what are some of the things that you would like to see done in that arena in battling opioid addiction?
Well, it falls back on education and prevention and being able to. You can't cure somebody of their addiction in 4 weeks. It needs to be and its studies are proven. They're doing it in Boston right now. I don't know if you see that they're outside of Boston, where it's a 12, 15-month program. That's how you solve the problem. It's not a quick fix, and it's, again, going back to education. We have to educate our young. The people that get involved with the opioid addictions, they seem to be people that are distraught and don't have much to go through in life. I mean, that's people who do that have hit rock bottom, and we have to find a way to stop those people from hitting rock bottom and back. I'm going back to education, and we're an education community. We're Indiana County. We're surrounded by universities. That's our strength. That's what we have to cater to. And if we can build our university and build our education, it's the limits are there's no limits to what we can do.
Economics and the infrastructure to support economic development here in Indiana County, that's certainly been a hallmark of Senator White's. I would assume that you would be on board with better infrastructure and more opportunities economically. Absolutely.
I mean, I've been in business for 28 years, and we need to be bold. We need to go out there. We can't wait for business to come to us. We got to go. We got to make phone calls. We got to ask businesses to come see us. And if we can't, even in the short term, if we can't get businesses to come, we got to get the people to come. Because I've been part of the Northern Appalachian Folk Festival for 7 years. It's striving. Every year we get more and more people here, and I've been a part of that from its inception with Dr. Jim Doherty. And you just have to find ways to build revenue. You have to have people with experience, business experience, that will go out and they will hunt down that business and bring it to Indiana County and Armstrong County and the other. That's what we need to do. We just need to get business involved and coming to Indiana, at least looking at us and saying, hey, what do you have to offer? And this is what we have to offer.
A couple of moments left with Tony DeLoreto this morning. The Sports Minute coming up with Boomer in just a couple of moments. As we conclude today and you get ready to get out there and hit the campaign trail, what are some of the things that you think people need to know about you and your candidacy that would make them consider you for the 41st Senate?
Well, like I said, my business background is vital. I'm a Navy veteran. I give back to my community. I'm a board member at the Chevy Chase Community Center. I glean for them every Tuesday morning. I was I enjoy giving back. When I was in college, I was a member of Big Brothers and Big Sisters, part of the United Way, and I had a little brother when he was. I think he was 11 or 12, and this is 30 years ago, and I just talked to him last night. He's an educator in New York City, works at a private school. He has 4 children, and he was coaching last night. I was talking to him last night. He said, I got to go because he's playing for the championship. He's a basketball coach for a JV team in junior high. Mm-hmm. And I want to be somebody... I want to take a different direction in my life where I can leave the legacy that my kids and my grandchildren will talk about someday. Say, my dad or my pap did that. He helped with that. Sort of like with Senator Stapleton with the highway. Making a 4-lane. That was his vision. Mm-hmm. He brought that vision to life. It was, and his children and grandchildren can be proud of that.
He's Tony DeLoreto. He announced yesterday. I assume you have a website, a Facebook page?
Yeah. More? I have my campaign people. There is a website and there is a Facebook, and it's the same as it was last time. Tony DeLoreto for state senator. And I wish I could be more knowledgeable about the Facebook and website. I'm not very social media savvy.
Me neither.
And so that kind of hurts you sometimes, but. I have people that keep a focus on that.
Beautiful. Folks want to learn more, they can go to your website or your Facebook page, and you're ready to go. Well, good luck to you.
Thank you very much, Todd. Thanks for having me.
He's Tony DeLoreto, candidate for the 41st